Hello, my dears. How are you? How is your day going? Well, I want you to know that this morning, oh my goodness, this morning it was a huge storm. It was a huge storm. The blinds were closed and the thunder just about shook the house, and it was one of those storms that gets your attention. It was a huge storm. Now look at it. I mean, it's like I said, well, yesterday I savored the outside and I was enjoying the treat of being able to be outside. I mean, it's 70 degrees, but this morning it was rough. So how are you? How are you? Yesterday was a quiet day. It was a tea day. It was a day to just stop and take stock of where we are on this journey, because the journey is getting more intense, which means that people are getting sick, people are losing their lives, jobs are being lost, and there is a need to band together to feel this. You can't help but feel the sadness and feel the grief. The discomfort that we feel is that grief with all of the things that are going on in everyone's life. We're all touched by it. So I'm coming to you today, checking in on you. This is Resilient Life, staying in touch with my people. We started this journey together, and we certainly are going to ensure that we give some little nugget, touch base with each other, just to help us through this. And as I was thinking about the storm, it just came up out of nowhere because I was sleeping sound. And it made me think. I said, well, goodness, it's storming outside, and we're in the middle of a pandemic. You know, here we are facing this inner storm. And the crazy thing is the sounds of the thunder clamping, you know, and just about shaking the earth, and the lightning coming through the shades, and the rain, the pouring rain. It was frightening to some degree, which is puzzling because I have the sound soother that someone gave me, and it's a disc player and it's a sound soother. And the puzzle is that thunder and water streaming and lightning, these are sounds that are on my sound soother. In that respect, they're supposed to help soothe me, help calm me. So I thought the same sounds work two ways. It's scaring me, making me maybe want to stay in bed, cover up until this is all over. Yet, if I were to play it on this gadget, supposedly it would calm me. And so it just shows how we look at things, our perception of things, which brought me to the thought of adversity. Adversity. As I was thinking about adversity, and I'm sure we've probably talked about this before, but I was thinking about it as a gift. Could you imagine that? Adversity is a gift. And why is it a gift? What is it about the adversity that would even make us consider it a gift? Well, there was this soldier who stepped on him. I don't know if he stepped on him, what he stepped on, but he was paralyzed. And for a good while he couldn't walk. He wanted to give his service to his country, and that was his motivation for joining the army. And all of his hard work went out the window when this one wrong movement paralyzed him. And he ended up writing a book talking about adversity as a gift. And I said, well, I gotta see what he's talking about. Now, we've talked about crises as opportunity. You know, it's how you see it. And we've talked about how some beautiful things have happened while we've been quarantined in. And there has been some beauty, some fine moments that have come out of this adversity. But just to look at various research from different ones talking about adversity and that being a gift. He's looking at the adversary is the trigger in the adversity. So the adversary, I guess you would say, would be the pandemic. It's triggering the adverse reaction that we're having to this. But then the same thing that happens is when you're in the middle of an adversity, when you're experiencing it, it makes you do something. You know, you've got to do something. It triggers action in most people. Now, some people, they don't see it as an opportunity, but most people, they want to fight for their lives. They want to do something so that they can thrive, and that's what we're all about. So I just want to leave that thought with you. We can explore it a little later, but if adversity is a gift, then we're looking at, again, crises as opportunity. We're looking at adverse situations that trigger action on our parts. It triggers thoughts. It triggers movement. It triggers us getting up and doing something. And oftentimes, that something that we choose to do makes us more enlightened. I mean, I think I've heard from some people when we talked about the what would we keep after all this is over, because we've been quarantined and we've been forced to simplify our lives. We've been forced to stay in. All of our favorite places are still closed. And so what would we want to keep from this? And often the comments have been, we want to keep the simpler things, the peaceful things. We would want to keep our pace that has slowed us so that we could appreciate art and crafts and interactions and virtual hugs and support. We don't seem to want to rush into a busy world, into a busy lifestyle. It would be, well, why would we want to do that when we have, we feel better to some degree. We might be a little stressed. We're more stressed because we're stressed with the unknown. We're hoping that we'll stay well and observe the protocol. We're stressed with the fact that we do not see this present danger. but we are comfortable in the safe place that we have created. We've been creating a healing environment. We've been creating a peaceful environment. And those are the things that have helped us see the opportunity in the crises. And so I would suggest that you would look at where we are and what's going on, and you would consider how adversity, it could be a gift. And I'll leave it at that. But I want you to have a good day. I want you to thrive. We talked a little bit yesterday about pressing the pause button every day, because stress has to manifest itself someplace, some ways, and we don't always know where it's going to settle. You know, you might have a nagging headache, or you might not be that hungry, or you might be very hungry, or so we want to keep that antenna open. We want to just think about what we're doing and live an intentional life. So I just want you to feel the love. Know that somebody cares about you. I love you, and I'm trusting that you are thriving and flourishing. So continue being well, and all will work out in the divine plan. Bye now.